And then, of course, critical thinking. Now, this is something that gets complained about in all organizations, a lack of critical thinking. But I think AI is demonstrating the need for human. I mean, at the bottom of every LLM, it says, this is not perfect answer. This might not be the right answer. They're declaring that up front. And if we keep reminding ourselves of the value we can add to that in critical thinking, I think that's very beneficial. And
I
also,
think, sorry, Asif,
sorry, no,
just
please.
to add in there, Amanda's comment in the chat
Oh, right, yes,
on
sorry.
critical thinking as well, and the suggestion that actually that's raised in the education system, that instead of just learning facts and figures, that actually students are taught more about, you know, the need to assess, analyze, challenge, and think critically. And I thought that was a really good point made by Amanda.
No, thanks, Amanda. That's exactly. I mean, I met a professor the other day, and now she only marks essays. I mean, this is a massive commitment for her. She only marks essays by getting her students to do a critique of their essays in front of her face to face, so she knows that they've written it because
Amazing.
she did a survey, and everyone who'd used LLM to write the essay didn't really have a point of view, but everyone who'd put their sweat and toil into writing it, they really wanted to tell you
Mm.
why they had this position. And I mean, she's a brilliant professor. She's in the medical school, and and so I wish more people had the commitment to do that. I mean, she's in a position where she can, but I think this enhancing critical thinking is something that every one of us needs to be considering how we bring that to every judgment that's there, as opposed to what's right in front of us. And also ethics. I'm going to be very scared when AI can answer questions to which there's no single right answer, because at that point, the ethics are being determined for us.
If you think as well, I mentioned about inventions.
Yes.
Neurodivergent people typically do think out of the box because they have so many synapses all firing
Yeah.
at the same time. But if you think about AI being a tool where we fed the data in, and you fed the AI, for example, we can't fly, humans can't fly, humans have never flown, and it will never be possible, and A plus B equals C, so it can't equal D. And if AI has been taught that, then when will it ever challenge what has happened, what hasn't happened before? So when will inventions happen if we're only bothered about what has happened in the past? It
Yeah.
becomes a very unprogressive tool rather than a progressive tool if you
Yeah.
turn it around that way.
It becomes an unimaginative world, and we've seen
Yeah.
this say, in television and in film. Like, what's the film industry been doing? Hollywood, at least, for the past few years, is getting one franchise like Marvel and just working within that space. Because it needs guarantees. And when you ask something for a guarantee, it's only going to base it on what's happened in the past, because the uncertainty of something unknown is something we've not been trained to reward that in organizations or in our lives. It's a challenge. But I think also this connection, this perspective of just connecting. I was talking to somebody in North America who said the one thing they cannot use AI for is relationship building, because at the end of the day, relationships are a uniquely human situation, and you need to be adaptive in a way that a machine can't be to deal with it. So I think there's a value in this, but we've just devalued it for a long time. I mean, do you think that we need to be? How can we remind people about the human value in their own world and in their own capability?